Welcome to Parent to Parent. We're glad you're here with us after celebrating Easter this last week. This month we want to focus in on our children's ministry a little bit, kind of the philosophy of what we do. Many times it can feel like a children's ministry just exists to do childcare for a Sunday, but we're so much more than that. And so I want to take a moment to talk about this philosophical truth with the acronym GRACE. And it's gospel-centered living, reflecting God's character, attend with joy, come to Christ, and extend Christ to others. And we want to start off with this G, and Chuck's going to start off on that.
Yeah, so as we think about this grace all sits on this premise that God has designed children with a unique and deep spiritual capacity for growth. So when we look at the acronym GRACE, we basically use it to measure how we're doing as partners with you and as parents in the classroom as we try to help children manifest these things in their lives. So this first one of gospel-centered living is both the grace, right, that saves us, salvation grace, but then the grace that also salvation saves us from an unfruitful life, a wasted life. And we see that in children as they really connect to the good news.
When we think of this gospel-centered living too, I think a lot of Romans 1:16 says, "For I'm not ashamed of the gospel." And we want to not pound in our kids, but talk with our kids and help them grow this love for God, so they're not ashamed of what Jesus did for them. That they live unashamedly for Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other side of that deal is, so that's grace for salvation, and then the gospel for just regular everyday living once you're already saved. 1 Peter 2:2 says that that you would grow in your salvation, as you long for spiritual milk. And so we desire to help children desire to grow in their spiritual walk.
And with that, we wanted to reflect godly character in their own lives. And it seems like they may be a little young for that, but Timothy tells us, don't let anyone look down on you because you're young, but set an example in your speech and the way you live your life.
Yeah, and then the next one is just attending with joy. We really want to see that in both the attitude and the atmosphere. So we want the kids to come with a happy heart, with a good attitude, that they're excited to be here. And our part to that is to produce a good atmosphere, one that's fun, warm, welcoming, that they go, okay, I like being here. It's a joy.
Well, and the C goes to come to Christ. And we know that as parents, I can't wait for my son Brenner, that moment that it kind of clicks, and I pray that happens. And we want to keep presenting the gospel to the kids so that they do come to know Christ. And trust me, we did it a lot this last Sunday with Easter. We had a lot of visitors who don't normally come, and we challenged our teachers to share the gospel with their classes. But also with that, we kind of feel like come to Christ leads into E, which is extend Christ to others, share Christ with others.
Yeah, so as you think about that, do you think about your child as a missionary? And just the idea that this message that has impacted them, we want them to get it and to turn around and share it with their friends at an age-appropriate level, because nobody can communicate with a kid like a kid.
So with that, that's kind of what our children's ministry is about. We're going to focus on that a lot this month, because we don't want to just be here at the church. We want it to be at home too. And so GRACE, gospel-centered living, reflecting godly character, attend with joy, come to Christ, and extend Christ to others. Thanks for listening to us. We'll check in with you later.
God bless you.